play their pipes.
Lothian police say they're responding to large numbers of complaints from local residents about the noise. Louise Stewart reports.
The skirl of the pipes is as much a feature of Edinburgh's Royal Mile as tartan and shortbread, but residents say they've had enough. Up to 20 complaints a day were being made to police, and officers say they had to act.
We've had an increased number of pipers coming to the High Street and the Lawn Market area from 9 in the morning until 10, 11 o'clock at night, making considerable noise. We've had increased number of residents complain, as do the office workers complain.
The pipers say they've been there for years and believe the authorities are overreacting.
It does detract from the attraction of the city centre for any tourists that are coming here to Edinburgh, which is a great many people, and I don't think they're very happy about it.
While the pipes may be music to tourists' ears, it's not so much fun for residents.
I mean, I like hearing the music, so I wish they had more of it.
Tourists will come anyway. I mean, Edinburgh's got so much going for it that they don't come just to see the pipers, and people do live here. I totally agree.
I think it's unfair. Don't take up much space, and they do add something extra to the ambience of Royal Mile.
Now the regular buskers have been sent contracts and warned if they don't pipe down, they could face an ASBO and have their instruments confiscated. As you can see, the police are taking a tough stance here on the Royal Mile, and any pipers found to be breaching the law will be asked to move on. Louise Stewart, reporting Scotland, Edinburgh.
Now let's get the weather outlook for tomorrow and the weekend ahead. Got any good news for us, Gail?
I hope so.
Mixed weather fortunes, really does depend where you are, Sally. Very good evening to you, but it may be approaching mid-June, but we don't have anything too warm coming our way. At this time of the year, temperatures should generally be peaking between the mid-teens and the high teens across much of the country. Today, though, we were several degrees below average. Northern Scotland really struggling to get into double figures across many parts and just peaking at 16 Celsius at very best. And for the next few days, it looks like it'll stay rather cool and fresh, not just by day, but also overnight. And for tonight, we will hold on to a scattering of showers, chiefly across northern Scotland, with one or two coming further inland and down the eastern side. But for many of us, we'll hold on to the dry conditions with some clear spells. And look at those temperatures, a good deal lower than recent nights, quite widely between 5 and 7 degrees, and some rural parts could even go a touch lower. And then for tomorrow, well, we'll start off the day mainly dry with just a few showers plaguing northern and eastern coastal fringes. But as we go through the morning and into the early part of the afternoon, we'll tend to see those showers becoming more frequent. However, it is the southwest that will tend to see the best of the sunshine and the temperatures once again. As we move further north, though, there'll be a good deal more cloudy, especially through the North Highlands, the Western Isles, up and towards the Northern Isles, and that will, of course, produce quite a few showers. They'll be coming in thick and fast. Similarly so towards muddy parts of Aberdeenshire, with some of the showers also clipping in towards Perthshire and Kinross, as well as Stirlingshire, Fife and Angus. But for many parts of central and southern Scotland, it'll tend to stay largely dry with the best of the sunshine. Now, through the rest of the afternoon, there'll be more showers continuing to feed into northern and eastern districts, brought in on a fairly brisk northwesterly wind, though for many of us, it will tend to be light to moderate. Now, looking ahead to Saturday, low pressure is still close by, so we'll hold on to that northerly feed, bringing with it a few showers to northern and eastern Scotland once again. So for this weekend, the best of the weather will be found in southwestern Scotland. That's how the weather's looking.
Gail, thanks very much for that. Tonight's closing headlines. The Shadow Home Secretary, David Davis, has stunned colleagues and constituents by resigning as an MP over the 42-day detention measures. His decision triggers a by-election. Mr Davis says he'll fight it on that issue, as well as ID cards and CCTV, what he calls the insidious, surreptitious and relentless erosion of British freedoms.
The father of a man accused of killing an Asian waiter in Orkney 14 years ago has denied helping to cover up the crime. But at the High Court in Glasgow, Edmund Ross admitted that he'd been jailed for attempting to pervert the course of justice. His son Michael Ross denies shooting dead Shamsuddin Mahmood in 1994.
The BBC has obtained exclusive documents from inside Zimbabwe which suggest the army is involved in rigging the country's election in favour of Robert Mugabe. The documents also show that Mr Mugabe's party is using food shortages as a political weapon.
And police searching a Stirlingshire landfill site for the remains of a missing man have found a body. They've been looking for 45-year-old John McCanch, who disappeared from the Stirling area at the start of April.
That's all from Reporting Scotland for now.
Late summary as ever with Rona at 10:25. Have a very good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jenny Bond's the guest with Christine and Dan on The One Show next here on BBC One Scotland.
Look at me, look at you, look at you, look at me. See my eyes, see your eyes, watching me, watching you. Look at me, look at you, look at you, look at me. See my eyes, see your eyes, watching me, watching you.
There's only one place to be seen this summer. Royal Ascot starts Tuesday at 1:45 on BBC One.
A Group B match from Vienna in half an hour in a battle of the underdogs. Co-hosts Austria take on Poland tonight from 7:30. Before the football now on BBC One Scotland, Christine's joined by Dan Snow for The One Show.
Hello and welcome to The One Show with Christine Blakely.
And Dan Snow, and a woman who started out as a medieval serving wench in a nightclub and ended up rubbing shoulders with royalty. Jenny Bond is with us.
Yeah, that's quite surprising. Not familiar with the elegant Jenny Bond royal correspondent, but medieval serving wench.
Well, why not? I was very young. We're talking 40 years.
I just can't imagine it somehow,
No,
though, eh?
if
What would it look like?
If only we could picture it.
Oh, for goodness sake. I don't believe that's my body at all.
It is, it is.
Yes.
No, it's not.
We've also got two more ladies with a twinkle in their eye. Yes, it's...
Be asked to move on. Louise Stewart reporting Scotland, Edinburgh.
Now let's get the weather outlook for tomorrow and the weekend ahead. Got any good news for us, Gail?
I hope so.
Mixed weather fortunes, really does depend where you are, Sally. Very good evening to you, but it may be approaching mid-June, but we don't have anything too warm coming our way. At this time of the year, temperatures should generally be